Hey guys, this Donut here, and I'm going to share my first experience at doing a pre-release. This is my very first pre-release, as well as my very first game of Magic in person with someone, and kind of want to go over a few things, if what I liked, if there was any dislikes, as well as wanting to encourage people to go to their local game stores and do the same. And real quick before we continue, I do want to let it be known that I did get permission to film here, as well as pictures. Didn't take a whole lot, but this was perfectly okay and kosher with the guys at Gamers XP. So in the background, I'm going to be opening up my two sample collector boosters from the two Commander decks I got, as well as go through the highlights I drew at the event, as well as opening the bundle land cards to show off what we got in there. So yeah, I went to my first pre-release. It ended up having to do 4 rounds of playing. I lost every single round. Technically, I had one bye, which thank the Lord for that. So I was able to get one pack from the event. But I had a lot of fun. Going into it, I didn't really know what to expect. You could only watch so much YouTube to prepare you. I watched the professor talk about deck building, and I kind of used his guidelines. And overall, the deck that I built, I actually built 2. In the first 2 rounds, I used a red green and won my very first round of the match. I may have that backwards. Match of the round. Yeah, 3 matches per round. That sounds right. Yeah. And won the very first one, so I was like riding a high, and then I just got squashed in the next 2. Second one got just obliterated by the guy. He had fantastic cards. Then I had the bye into the third, and then in the fourth final, played a very nice gentleman that I actually was sticking it to him for a good minute, but he ended up just taken over. He ended up getting the as his promo, he had I forget the name of the card, I have to look it up later, forgive me, but it's the one that creates slivers on your upkeep, and that got out of hand fast. I had no efficient way of removing it because I had swapped to a blue-black deck at that point, which helped only so far, but he just, wasn't much I could do there. But I want to say that, for someone who has pretty bad social anxiety, I was a little scared going into this. I was like, man, I don't know what to do. Am I going to talk to people? But luckily, I had a very nice guy named Tim came up, sat down with me. He had just moved into the area for military purpose. I live near a really big Air Force base, so we could see a lot of that, in and out. But he was a super nice guy. He sat down and talked to me. Great icebreaker. Appreciate him so much for helping me there. Kind of helped me, calm my nerves. And we just started talking Magic. I was like, hey, man, it's my first time. And so he kind of told me what all he's played and stuff. So it was really good. But I do want to urge anyone who's ever wondered about going to a pre-release event and was worried, don't be. Everyone there was super nice. Everyone shakes hands, at least from what I saw. Yeah, everyone's real nice. Everyone's very welcoming. I was starting to say, look, I'm new to this. Please be patient with me. Everyone's like, oh, yeah, no problem. Everyone's very willing to show me their cards as far as like, hey, I don't know what that does. Do you mind if I look at it? And half the time people would just read it out loud, which I greatly appreciate. As far as things I love the atmosphere. Early on, when you see me walk into the store, that was really early, about an hour before the event started, maybe even an hour and a half. And we ended up having 62 players total, which was unexpected for me. I was like, holy crap, there's a lot of people here. But yeah, it was crazy, to see that many people come in and just see a community get together and enjoy playing. Everyone I talked to, it was never a moment of awkwardness. Everyone felt like I've known them. We talk shop essentially, and it was a great time. As far as things I didn't like losing. Wasn't a big fan of that, but hey, that's on me. I learned a lot. I've kind of learned a lot about deck building, but other than that, I have nothing bad to say. Very thankful for the guys again at Gamers XP. They put on a fantastic pre-release. And again, if you've never gone to one and you've thought about it, I urge you to break out of that shell and go. You will not regret it one bit.